We gonna get into some things.
Oh, we gonna get into some things. Let's get into.
So what's up, you guys? Today we're gonna be doing like this conspiracy talk and chit chat about the MOESHA show. So you guys do know that Netflix decided to bring some of the black sitcoms that we grew up watching, especially if you're, if you were into the black sitcoms back then, like Morisha, One on One, Smart Guy, those type of things. And so they decided to bring all of the shows to Netflix. Netflix bringing MOESHA and all the other black sitcoms to Netflix was definitely good timing, considering everything that has been going on with the talk about and the riots and all that about race. So you guys, MOESHA was definitely like a fan favorite. Everybody loved MOESHA. And then, as you guys know, MOESHA ended, and then there was The Parkers, which was a spinoff of MOESHA's show. Now, you guys, it was a lot of talk saying that Countess Vaughn, who played MOESHA's good friend Kim, that they ended up getting into some type of beef. And it caused a lot of tension on set, amongst other things. And also, you guys, they were also saying that now that they have brought MOESHA to Netflix, a lot of people have been basically saying that they don't like MOESHA's character. Now that we are older, we kind of see her character more versus how we seen it back then. So now a lot of people are just saying like that they didn't like MOESHA's character, that she was a bad friend, a bad girlfriend. And there seems to be a lot of conspiracy around some of the celebrities and their deaths when it came to the MOESHA show. So we know that in Hollywood, there's always some type of conspiracy. Is there some type of MOESHA curse, or is it all just a conspiracy? People are saying that these deaths that happened after the MOESHA show ended is basically kind of like the Saturday Night Live curse, you guys, whatever that is. Basically, a lot of people had went on Saturday Night Live, and things did not work out well for them after. The crazy thing about this whole situation is that pretty much everyone died before they were 50 years old. Either they were 50 or they died before they were 50 years old. The first person, it was the guy, his name was Marilyn Santana. His role in MOESHA, his name was Ohaji. He was MOESHA's first boyfriend in the show, like during season 1. In season 2, the on again and off again boyfriend until she met the light-skinned guy named Q. And Ohaji, who goes by the real name of Marilyn Santana, he ended up dying at the age of 26. And he had some roles before he died, before he got on MOESHA. He was on The Cosby Show. He was basically Stanley the Kid who went with Rudy. And he was in war with another guy for Rudy's affection on The Cosby Show. And then he went on to play Ohaji on the MOESHA show. Now, you guys, after he did the role on MOESHA show, he ended up getting the role on Steve Harvey's show. Steve Harvey show was the Steve Harvey show, and Ohaji, whose real name is Santana Marilyn, he ended up playing the role of Romeo on the Steve Harvey show. Now, Santana Marilyn, his death was that he was shot 6 times in South LA, Los Angeles. And a girl by the name of Monique King basically told her boyfriend, Damien Andre Gates, that Santana had RAPED'd her. And then Gates and another man went on to shoot Santana. So Gates ended up bringing another man by the name of Brandon Douglas Barnes, and they found Santana and a friend sitting in a car, basically. And as they were sitting in the car, they opened fire on Santana and his friend, and they shot Santana 6 times. Now, you guys, something better. During questioning related to the incident with Santana, the 2 guys were being questioned, and in the questioning, while the police was basically questioning the guys who shot Santana, Gates and Barnes, they basically told that in the incident, Monique King was lying, and the whole time she basically did it for a setup. So she wanted to set Santana up. And so the 2 guys who ended up opening fire on Santana and shooting him 6 times ended up getting 3 life sentences plus 70 years. And the other guy, Barnes, he ended up getting 23 years and the girl, Monique King, she received 8 years in a juvenile facility because she was only 15. Now, my thing is, like, did she know him from TV? Why she said that? Or did she know him personally in real life? Or did she just see him on TV and knew him personally? Like, not knew him, but, like, she lived close to him and knew, certain things about him and decided to do that because she was only 15. And it ended up coming out that she lied and it was a setup. So, basically, his life was taken for no apparent reason, you guys. And keep in mind, the girl was only 15. And Santana, he was a really great actor. Like, he did his thing on the MOESHA show and on the Steve Harvey show, you guys. Now, you guys, we're going to move on to artist Lamont Bentley. His role in the MOESHA show was Hakeem. Now, you guys, in the MOESHA show, Hakeem, he started off as a family friend who lived next door to MOESHA and her parents. And his mom was a single mom. She was going through a struggle trying to raise him. And he basically had to go out and get a job to help his mom and make ends meet. And he will always be at the Mitchell house on MOESHA. That was their last names, on MOESHA. And he will always be there for breakfast, lunch, dinner. And they really didn't seem to mind. They welcomed him with open arms because I guess they knew his situation. And also because he was MOESHA's best friend. And he ended up basically dating MOESHA, and she did fall in love with Hakeem. Now, this was after Kim, who is Countess Vaughn, she was really in love with Hakeem in the beginning. And when MOESHA started dating Hakeem, Kim and MOESHA, they ended up not being friends, but they ended up later reconciling their friendship. Artist Lamont Bentley, he was only 35 years old at the time of his death. And he had died from a car accident. So, you guys, in 2005, Bentley was driving in the early morning on a highway on 118 in Semi Valley at a high rate speed. So, you know how you have a car and you just want to speed, or you think you are in control of the wheel, and it turns out that you're not really in control of the wheel. But he had a Mercedes-Benz, you guys. So, you know, when you're in a Mercedes-Benz, you want to push it. You want to drive fast. Because I know if I had a Mercedes-Benz, I would definitely be driving fast. But you guys, his Mercedes-Benz was seen running through a stop sign, breaking through a chain-like fence, going down an embankment and ejecting him from the vehicle. He was struck by 5 cars before the authorities could even get to him. Initial tests and toxicology reports basically showed that no drugs or alcohol were in his system. Now, you guys, it seems weird that he would just barrel through a stop sign and a chain-like fence, and he wasn't on any drugs or anything. They didn't find anything in his system. It wasn't like he was having a heart attack whenever he was driving, or, you know, some freak accident. It's almost like in the scary movies where someone end up cutting someone's brake line or something like that, and they just can't stop. I know that sounds crazy and it kind of seems far-fetched, but in my initial thoughts, I'm like, what other reason would it be for him to go running past a stop sign and barreling through a fence? Like, it just doesn't make sense in my opinion. So that's why a lot of people are saying, like, is it a MOESHA curse? Because a lot of people who played on this show are no longer with us, you guys. 5 people. Now, not everyone is dead, but a lot of things did happen to a lot of the characters. Some of the characters aren't even working in Hollywood anymore. You see, Brandy, she did go on to do other things, but she definitely fell off. Another fan favorite from the show was definitely the legend himself, Bernie Mac, you guys. Bernie Mac was definitely a fan favorite. He played on that show. He ended up having his own show called The Bernie Mac Show. Now, on the MOESHA show, you guys, he basically ended up playing Uncle Bernie, who will always come over for Thanksgiving. And he also ended up dating Aunt Dell on the show. Now, even Aunt Wanda from the Bernie Mac show, she even made a cameo appearance as one of the USPS postal workers who dropped the package off, and Bernie Mac, he basically tried to holler at her in the scene, and she was like, oh no, man, I ain't got no time for that today. But she ended up making a cameo appearance on the Parkers as well. And Bernie Mac himself, he had endless amount of roles on screen. I mean, he was a really great actor. He had so many jobs. He even played on Friday. He made an appearance in Friday. He was a stand-up comedian. He had his own show, The Bernie Mac Show. And you guys, it is alleged that Bernie Mac had some type of feud with Steve Harvey before he died that had carried on for many amount of years. And it's alleged that Cedric the Entertainer allegedly knows about the beef because he ended up going to sit down to talk to Steve Harvey on the Steve Harvey show one time. And they subliminally talked about the situation. As you guys know, when it comes to television TV, everything is scripted, like the Wendy Williams show and countless other shows. But yeah, you guys, they definitely ended up sitting down talking about the situation. Bernie Mac's death took the world by surprise, you guys. He ended up going to a hospital in Chicago on August the 8th of 2008. and he was treated for a week and unsuccessfully died on August the 9th. So the day after he arrived at the hospital, he had died from this autoimmune disease called sarcoidosis, you guys. Now, sarcoidosis is an autoimmune disease that basically causes the tissue in your body to swell, and this often affects the lungs, but any organ can be infected. So the illness occurs gradually and can be asymptomatic or chronic in some of the people who is diagnosed with it. And only 10% of the people develop a serious disability, and fewer then die from it, you guys. So Bernie Mac, he was definitely a fan favorite. And to this day, you guys, Bernie Mac, he is still missed. He was one of the best comedians to ever do comedy. Now, last but not least, we are going to be talking about Estelle. Now, Estelle, she was also a fan favorite, you guys. She, as I said earlier, she played the role of Estelle. She is the most recent person to die from the cast of MOESHA. And she died from cancer, you guys. Now, you guys, Yvette Wilson, she initially beat the cancer that she originally had, but the cancer ended up coming back super strong. You know how people ended up catching cancer and then they survive it, and then sometimes the cancer can come back super aggressive to the point where you're actually doing chemo for the second time and the chemo's not working because this is your second time actually trying to do it. Now, she was in stage 4. When discovered that she also needed 2 kidney transplants, you guys. Eventually, she was overcame by the illness and passed away in July of 2008. Now, Estelle was definitely a favorite of mine. I really liked her personality on the Parkers, especially because on the MOESHA show, she really didn't get a chance to showcase her personality in the show. But you guys, a lot of things did not work out for a lot of people after the show. I mean, Brandy, yes, she continued to go on and do her thing, but her music slowly died out. As I said earlier in the beginning of the video, that she recently just came out with the album. And a lot of people are saying that the album is great. And I hope that it is, so that she can make a comeback for herself, because Brandy had a really big name in the industry. Now, something did happen to Brandy after the show where she actually hit and killed someone in a car accident. So I guess it's safe to say that maybe it is a MOESHA curse. Maybe it's a conspiracy, but for me, I think that the show may have had some type of curse to it, because the little brother of MOESHA from the show, Miles, he ended up being on that show, but I don't think there was any more big occurring roles for him. I know that he did end up being on Bad Girls Club season 4, where he came and visited one of the bad girls, Kendra. And this is the season with Natalie Nunn, and Natalie Nunn actually was the one who called Miles up to come over and hang with Kendra. So that was the last that I seen of Miles. Do you guys think that this was definitely a curse on the cast of Moesha? Or do you guys think that this was and is some type of conspiracy, you guys? I know there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there, but what do you guys think about this whole video? I want you guys to leave a discussion about if you feel that the whole cast of Moesha show was cursed and doomed, or do you guys think it's just a conspiracy? I want you guys to let me know down in my comment section below. Do not forget to like my videos, share my videos, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you guys like this makeup look, please make sure you leave a comment down below saying what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it. And I'll make sure I see you guys in the next video. Bye.